I'm a little bit late to the party here, but this is my review of the David Haye versus Tony Bellew Sky Sports Gloves Are Off episode, which has been uploaded to YouTube and various other websites. A couple of copies have been taken down, but I'm sure you can still find it out there somewhere for those of you who haven't watched it on television. Now, this is going to be a pretty short video because I don't think there's that much to say. There are a lot of people who are reading a lot into the pre-fight antics of David Haye and Tony Bellew, like the press conference the other day in Liverpool. David Haye kind of lost his cool with the fans and started shouting at them and calling them retards and so on and so forth. People are saying Haye's lost it, he's bottled it, Bellew's going to do him because of this and this, that and the other. And at the same time, I'm hearing other people saying that Bellew has lost his cool, you know, and Haye has got under his skin and he's lost his bottle and he's going to get done in. My take on it is this. Both Tony Bellew and David Haye are vastly experienced professionals. They were both vastly experienced amateurs. They've both been in very volatile pre-fight situations before, far more volatile than this. And therefore, nothing that happens in the build-up to this fight is going to affect the outcome of the fight in the slightest. That is my opinion. Both guys are too experienced for that. They've been here before. This is not, neither one of them, you know, this is not the first rodeo for either one of them. So I can't see how any of this stuff is going to be relevant. Once they get into the arena and they say it's your time to walk out to the ring, then they're just going to switch into autopilot and it's going to be business as usual for both of them. I don't think any of the pre-fight stuff is going to make any difference. Far, far, far too much experience for both of them to be affected by that. And so the gloves are off was just, you know, it was funny and whatnot in places and both guys saying what they were saying and both guys are very defiant. And that's what I expect from them because that's how both of these guys have got to where they are in boxing. That's how they've become so successful because they are defiant. David Haye was dismissive of Bellew. Oh, I'm going to blast him out in a couple of rounds. This is nothing new from David Haye. You know, some people were saying they've never seen David Haye so dismissive of an opponent. Well, you know, no disrespect, but I don't think you've been paying that much attention to David Haye over the years. He's always like this. When he fought Enzo Macronelli, that was a unification at cruiserweight. He said, I don't know why, you know, I'm not even that keen on fighting Macronelli, but the people want it. To be honest with you, I think I'll bowl him over in a couple of rounds. I don't see it as a difficult fight or a dangerous fight in any way. And that's what he was saying before the Macronelli fight. I mean, even as recently as his last real fight against Derek Chisora, he said the same thing. Bowl Chisora over in a couple of rounds. This is not even that competitive. He's always dismissive of his opposition, David Haye. You know, other than maybe when he fought Klitschko, it gave him a bit more respect. He's dismissive. With Tyson Fury, it was the same. Oh, Fury's just a big, clumsy heavyweight. You know, I'll just knock him out easy. This is what he was saying. So David Haye is 100% in character when he's talking about this Bellew fight is a mismatch and he don't understand really why people want to see it. But hey, if they want it, I'll give it to him and Bellew will get knocked out easy. This is the stuff he's been saying in all the interviews, the press conferences, and in the gloves are off. Very defiant, doesn't believe Bellew brings anything to the table. That's typical David Haye. And Tony Bellew was being defiant too. He was giving Haye more respect as a fighter. He was saying, you know, Haye's dangerous, this, that, and the other. But ultimately, he believes that Haye is going to gas. He believes that Haye's lack of experience, well, not even experience, sorry, Haye's lack of ring activity is what I meant to say, in the past few years will catch up with him. He believes that David Haye's right hand is maybe not the same as it used to be. So, you know, he's saying whatever he has to say to build up his own confidence and, you know, galvanize his own self-belief that he's actually going to win the fight. And obviously, Tony Bellew is coming prepared for war. He's coming prepared to actually have to walk through fire. And David Haye is being his usual dismissive self. So if it does get into a dogfight and if David Haye does find himself in a difficult situation, maybe that will come back to haunt him. But again, this is nothing new from David Haye. So it's not like he's being dismissive of Bellew, but he's not normally dismissive of opponents. No, he's normally dismissive. So if any of those previous opponents, a Chisora or whoever, managed to take him into deep waters, you never know what could have happened. In fact, after the Chisora fight, David Haye was saying, you know, Chisora was a lot tougher than I expected. I was surprised that his chin was so good, and he's probably got the best chin of anybody I've ever faced, and all these kind of, you know, all this kind of stuff. He was surprised that it was as difficult as it was, because again, he expected to bowl Chisora over in a couple of rounds. So will Tony Bellew be able to exploit that potential chink in David Haye's armor? That kind of arrogant, aloof, dismissive attitude that he has towards his opponents. Will Bellew be able to take him into deep waters and make him eat his words late in the fight? Most people would say probably no, but as I say again, any of the stuff that is said pre-fight won't affect either fighter. The crowd won't affect David Haye. He's been in hostile situations before. When he went to Germany to fight Klitschko, that was very hostile on the way to the ring. They deliberately sent David Haye out the wrong exit or the wrong route to the ring. So he was being jostled and whatnot by fans and abused and having things thrown at him, and he was being spat on and all kinds of stuff. He's been through that, you know, on a much bigger stage than fighting Tony Bellew. You know, he went to Paris to fight Jean-Marc Mormec. So David Haye's been in hostile situations. It's not going to bother him when he gets in the ring at all. And Tony Bellew, you know, he went over to Canada to fight Adonis Stevenson. He was a highly decorated international amateur. He's been in the lines then too. So people get way too carried away, I think, with the hype and the build-up in this particular instance. It's just going to come down to who's the better fighter on the night. That's all. It won't come down to anybody bottling it or being worried about what was said before the fight or the crowd. None of that stuff's going to matter. Both guys are too experienced for that. And both guys are strong, mentally strong guys. Yeah, Tony Bellew is a very mentally strong character. Say what you like about him, he is mentally tough. And so is David Haye. Yeah, David Haye is a mentally very strong guy when he gets in the ring. So, you know, neither one of these guys are guys who really, bottle it. Some people might say that David Haye bottled it against Klitschko. I don't think he did. Because I was expecting that kind of performance from David Haye against Klitschko. David Haye is not a guy who is trying to put his chin out there to get hit. And when he fights big, tall men, big, tall heavyweights, he can only do one thing, or at least back in the days, he could only do one thing. And that was circle around the ring and look to jump in with a big right hand. That's all he ever did against tall men. That's all he ever did against Bellew. You know, so that's all he knew how to do. His technical ability was very limited in terms of how to approach a fight with a big heavyweight like Klitschko. And that's why he lost the fight. So anyway, let me not waffle on for too long. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about this Gloves Are Off episode. Did you read anything deeply into it, which I missed maybe? Or maybe you have a different interpretation of how it went down. I've hardly even talked about the episode, to be honest with you, because I don't think there's really that much to talk about. They both said stuff that they've said in other interviews on IFL and various different YouTube channels. So, you know, it was what it was. Let me know how you feel. It's happening. I'm out.